All right. Do we have sound now? There we go. We should have sound now. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. Sorry, I didn't have the mic on. All right. Good. All right. So we're going to be talking about one of the most fundamental principles in weight loss. This stuff, honestly, if you understand this, right? If you understand the numbers, right? And I'm going to break it down in a very easy to understand way, right? If you understand the numbers, weight loss is simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple, right? I'm going to be talking to you about calorie awareness, how to gain calorie awareness, right? Why it's important for you to understand how calories work. What is a calorie? We're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about um, processed foods versus whole foods. We're going to be talking about um, how to eat for volume, which is key, right? You shouldn't be, you should never be hungry. If you're on a quote unquote diet, you're trying to lose weight and you're hungry, you're doing something wrong. Put a one in the chat. Let me see something. Put a one in the chat if you, every time you go on a diet or you think in order to lose weight, it involves being hungry. I want to see something. Put a one in the chat if you believe that hunger is a part of weight loss. I want to see something. If you believe that when you're hungry, yeah, see, this is what I thought. The last thing you want to be when you're trying to lose weight is hungry. Because if you're eating the right types of foods, you should never be hungry. Most of my clients, oh yeah, see, look, matter of fact, I love that you said that because this is what a lot of people believe. That when you're hungry, that's my body eating my own fat, so I stay hungry. No. It'll be almost impossible for you to stick to any diet if you associate being hungry all the time with this way of eating. It's not true. You should not be hungry. You don't have to be hungry. You can actually be extremely satiated. And the only reason why I advise you to be extremely satiated is because you make better decisions when you're not hungry. If you agree with that, put a 2 in the chat. Do you make better decisions when you're not hungry? Is it easier for you to stay on track and make good eating choices when you're not starving? Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with that. Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with that. See, when you're not hungry, you do things like skip the gas station pizza and you go straight to the gym. It's like a miracle. I love that. It's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on. I just saw a comment that I wanted to highlight. Oh, what's up, Chelsea? My online coaching client, Chelsea, is in here. What's up? One of my star clients. Speaking of my clients, I am currently taking on online coaching clients. So if you go to brickstraining.com, let me put it on the screen. You go to brickstraining.com and you fill out the survey, the questionnaire. You can schedule a call with me. But I say this all the time. I don't want to just work with people who have money. I don't care if you have the money. If you're not ready to commit, then don't go to brickstraining.com. I mean that. Do not go to brickstraining.com if you're not ready to commit to the process, because we win. Me and my clients, we win. We get results. We transform. We get the non-scale victories and the scale victories. All right. So shout out to my online coaching clients. I know there's probably a few other clients here, but yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is, when you understand calories, right? You should. Oh yeah, I was talking about hunger. You should never be hungry. You don't have to be hungry. If you're hungry, you are putting yourself in a vulnerable position, because what happens is when you're eating calorie foods that aren't calorie dense, right? If you're eating foods, cleaner foods typically have low calories. So chicken breasts and vegetables and fruits and whole grains and these sort of foods do not typically carry a lot of calories, right? So you'll notice, right, and I'm pretty sure people can agree with this. If you switch to a clean diet, typically you have trouble eating enough calories, right? If you can relate to that, put a 3 in the chat. If you've gone on a diet and you've changed, you stopped eating fast food, you stopped eating fried foods, you stopped, and your calorie calculator told you should be eating 2,400 calories, and you're like, damn, how the hell am I supposed to eat 2,400 calories? Because it's hard. So that goes to show when you're eating the right stuff, you can eat a lot of it. And it's key. You want to be, listen, I'm not a fan of the whole 5-6 meals per day. I don't like doing it. I've had seasons where I've done that. But if that's something that works for you, eat all day. Whatever prevents you from being hungry and being in a vulnerable position where you are likely to make a bad eating choice, do what you need to do to prevent from being in that spot. Do what you need to do to prevent from being in a spot where you are like, your survival mechanisms kick in, because when you're hungry, your brain kind of just goes into survival mode. And that's when your brain will justify you pulling into a drive-through. All right, so talk to me about this, Mr. H. To be honest with you, it works for me. So if it works, right, it'll work short term. But show me your physique, Mr. H. What do you look like? Before I consider your input on this subject, what do you look like? Because if you're saying it works, what does that even mean? I've been intermittent fasting for 8 years too. So intermittent fasting. Now there's a difference between fasting and starving yourself. Big difference. Big difference. Big difference. Facts. I felt that. He felt that. It makes all the reasons. It gives you all the reasons to grab a McChicken when you're hungry. But if you are not hungry, right? If you always have snacks, you have boiled eggs, you have whatever it is, right? And you're not hungry, you'll be able to drive. You'll have the willpower to drive past McDonald's. But if you are starving and you see those golden arches, you're gonna be like this. You feel me? You're gonna be like, I look like a McChicken sometimes. Or they said he looks like a McChicken. Oh, I got you, Mr. H. I feel you. Okay. Well, great. If that works for you, I thought you meant like starving yourself. I'm like, okay. Yeah, no. If 4 to 5 meals works, more power to you. That's great. It's actually good for you, honestly. But I don't. The reason why I bring it up is because people think that you have to do that, and you don't. You can eat 1 time a day. You can eat 16 times a day. As long as your calorie requirements, you're hitting the right amount of calories, you're going to be good. All right. So it doesn't really matter. I want you to just focus on finding a eating schedule that works for you. That is the most important thing. Find an eating schedule that works for you. All right. So don't feel, because there's so many different approaches, so many different philosophies that speak different things. And I can understand it's very confusing. If the conflicting information on the internet confuses you, right? If it puts you in a place where you're like, yo, I don't know what to do. If you can relate to that, put a 4 in the chat. I want to see something. I want to see who relates to that. If this person says this and this person says this, and you're like, damn, what the hell do I do? What's true? Put a 4 in the chat if you can relate to that. And that's why I try to give you guys the no nonsense, stripped down version of all this information, because there's no one way to do things, right? There's many ways to get this thing done. You just have to go into an experimental kind of mindset and you just try things. You try things. If you want to try 5 meals a day, see how that works for you. Are you able to be consistent with 5 meals a day? Is it something that takes a lot of effort, a lot of willpower, a lot of thought, a lot of planning? Is it something that flows? Is it something that makes your body feel good? Is it something like try it and see what the feedback, what happens, right? Watch, do it, and see how it works, right? And then if it doesn't, you switch to something else. All right. So a calorie, let's just talk about a calorie, right? A calorie, and I actually learned this a few years ago, right? After I became a trainer. I was already a trainer before I knew this. Calorie, the word calorie merely means it's a unit of energy. That's all it means. A calorie is a measuring, it's a word to you, it's a word that describes the unit of measurement. Just like an inch describes a unit of measurement, a calorie describes a unit of measurement of energy. 1 calorie means 1 unit of energy, right? So that energy can be either consumed, which is when you consume calories, or burned, right? And that's when you exercise or you move to burn energy. And that's all a calorie is, right? That's all a calorie is. So when you understand at the very basic fundamental level, in order to lose body fat, you have to consume less calories than you burn. That's it. It's not rocket science, people. It is not rocket science. It's really not rocket science. It's simple. And a lot of people who are experiencing these plateaus or this frustration, you want to focus on getting the right amount of protein and making sure that you're in a slight caloric deficit. A slight caloric deficit. That doesn't mean if you maintain your weight at 3,000 calories, you should be eating 12,000 calories. 1,200 calories. You shouldn't. You want to be in a slight caloric deficit. You actually want to be eating as many calories as you can while still creating a slight caloric deficit. A caloric deficit is simply the difference between the calories you consume to maintain your weight and the calories you consume to create a small offset of energy. That's all it is. You're trying to create an energy offset. That's it. And the only way to do this is by consuming the right amount of calories. That's why there's power in the numbers. I don't care what diet you go on. You can go on the keto diet, the Frito diet. It doesn't matter. If you're not in a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose weight. And these are facts. These are just facts. I don't care what. You can eat. If you lose weight eating 2,500 calories, you can fundamentally eat 2,500 calories of McDonald's or 2,500 calories of kale salad and you will still lose weight. You're going to feel different between those two, right? But if you eat the amount of calories that you're supposed to eat, fundamentally, you will lose weight, right? Inversely, if you gain weight eating 3,000 calories and you eat 3,000 calories of goddamn kale, I don't care what it is you're eating. You can eat nothing but tomatoes. If it's 3,000 calories, you're going to put on weight. So there's a difference between eating for weight loss and eating for health. It honestly doesn't matter much what you eat when your focus is only weight loss. And again, this is the power of the numbers. I'm not advising you to eat a shitty diet. I'm saying this to get you to understand that it's about how much you eat. And that's why having calorie awareness is important. I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you guys how to write, how to write, how to develop calorie awareness. Yo, I'm going to write that book on the Frito diet. y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. All right, what's your take? I'm going to answer some questions as we go. But before we get into the questions real quick, I'm currently taking on online coaching clients. I am interviewing online coaching clients. So when I get on the phone with you, because if you go to brickstrainer.com, you fill out the questionnaire, you can schedule a call with me. This call is not for me to sell you anything. It's not for me to convince you, because honestly, and I say this as humbly as possible, I don't have to convince anyone. I know my system works. What I'm on the phone with you for is to figure out if you are ready. If you are ready. I'm not going to take on a client that when I'm talking, the reason why I do the calls is so that I can hear your voice. I can hear the things you're saying, because I know within the first 2 minutes of a call, I know if you're ready and if my systems are going to work for you. I know. And that's why I do these calls personally, because I'm obsessed with winning. And I only want to work with people who I can actually help transform. I don't care if you have the money. It doesn't help my business. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help you. If I take you on as a client and you're going to bullshit, I don't care. I don't want to work with you. The call it's a phone call. I'll talk to you on the phone. It's not a Zoom call. It's a 15-minute phone call where I'm pretty much interviewing you. All right, so his question. Hold on, what was the question? What was the take? Okay, what's your take on 16/8 fasting? My take on 16, I essentially do that. I fast 16 hours a day for the most part. I'm really lenient, right? I'm not like a Nazi when it comes to my fasting window. I don't have to be anymore, because I typically was fasting for calorie restriction, but I think 16/8 works. It works if it feels good to you. That's the thing. Everything you do with weight loss, with this fitness lifestyle, you should ask yourself, does this feel good? Does my body like this? Is this something that is sustainable for me? Like, ask yourself those questions to determine if what you're doing is right. You don't have to ask a trainer. You don't have to ask the dude at the gym. You don't have to. Ask your body. Pay attention to your body. Your body is brilliant. It will tell you. It gives you feedback immediately. When you eat something that is not good for you, your body tells you right away. Why do you think you get sleepy or your stomach hurts? Right? It's because your body's telling you, yo, this shit is no good. Think about it like this, right? I just told you guys, a calorie is a unit of energy. Right? Follow me here. If a calorie is a unit of energy, if you eat calories and it makes you sleepy, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong there. It is quite literally the opposite of what the definition of a calorie is. Energy. Right? It's supposed to give you energy. No. The right foods for you are going to make you feel good. And that is what you should be basing your food choices on. Not what some book says, not what some doctor says, not like, pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your body. Exactly. That would be bad energy. Low frequency, low vibe foods. Low vibe foods. make you feel like shit. If you make your diet 80% at least, right? 70 to 80% foods that make you feel good, I'm telling you, you will end up being in the best shape of your life. You will end up being in the best shape of your life. For sure. So pay attention. Pay attention. Start a food journal. Log your food on your app. And then also start to like make little notes, man. After I ate this, a few hours later, I felt like that. After I ate this, a few hours later, I felt like that. Like, start to understand, start paying attention. Don't just be eating things just because it's in your fridge or it's on the no. Don't let these colorful boxes and these colorful bags get your attention. Like, no, pay attention. Educate yourself on nutrition. Understand at the very basic level the science. How do certain foods interact with your physiology? What happens on a cellular level when you eat certain foods? And the cheat code is simply to just try to eat as many whole foods as possible. Foods that come straight from the earth, from a tree, from a bush, from an animal, like not from a box or a can or, some colorful packaging. Eat the foods that we as a species were developed on. Focus on eating whole foods. It's simple. The American diet is freaking obsessed with eating processed foods. We gotta break our addiction to processed foods. All right, I'm going off topic here. My bad. All right, calorie awareness, right? What is calorie awareness? Calorie awareness is a deep understanding of your personal caloric needs, as well as the caloric content of the foods that you eat. You got to understand what's in this food, guys. What is in your food? How many calories is in your food? What type of calories are in your food? Is it calories from fats? Is it calories from carbs? Is it calories from proteins? Because your body metabolizes these calories in different ways. I personally am a big fan, as you can see, of a high protein diet. That's how you stay swole. That's how you keep your muscle mass up. You maintain muscle mass when you're eating protein. There's people who would disagree with that. It works for me. I'm almost 40 years old. I feel amazing. I look amazing. And you know what? If my body talks to me and tells me otherwise in the future, maybe I'll switch the way I eat. I've experimented with it all. Right? But your calories, your calorie awareness, having a deep understanding of your caloric needs, your specific caloric needs. And it starts with a calculator. It starts there. Just because some calorie calculator told you that you need to eat 2,500 calories, that may not be true. Oftentimes it is. I'm going to say that. Oftentimes it is true. Right? Those calorie calculators, if you accurately fill out the information in the calorie calculator, oftentimes it will tell you a good ballpark of how many calories you should be eating. But it's not going to be able to tell you your carb tolerance. It's not going to be able to tell you, what's the right amount of protein for you. And for most of us, we can do some experimenting, or you can hire me as a coach and I can figure all that out for you. Right? You can go to brickstraining.com, fill out the questionnaire, schedule a qualifying call with me, because I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm actually a terrible salesperson. And that's why I love that I have a product that sells itself. Because I'm not into convincing people to do things. If you're not ready, I'm going to say, okay, Bye. Truly, I'm not gonna tell you you should do that, nah, because most of the time the people who I have to try to convince are not ready. Listen. You know my children. You know me. I followed through. I am one of the greatest coaches, right? Our programs, our system, me and Cammy, we have the best system on the planet. So I'm not going to convince you to work with me. I'm not. Our lunge is good for 300 plus people. If your knees can handle it, if your glutes can handle it, if you do lunges and you're not feeling pain, then yeah, do them. My fat ass used to do lunges. All right, I'm gonna answer some of these questions for a second. Am I doing a disservice by staying under my calorie intake but still having some of those processed foods you are talking about? Now, this depends on if you're eating for health or if you're eating for fat loss. It's gonna work for fat loss short term, but your levels of vitality, like how good you feel, it's probably not gonna be the best. It's probably not gonna be the best. But in the short term, you're gonna lose weight, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna hit a wall because you're probably under fueling your body. Right? If you are not putting enough energy in and you're taking a lot of energy out, then that means you're sacrificing something there. All right. So short term it works, long term it does not work. What's up, Yogi Sarah? I love to George to like his stuff. To George? It's my drug. I guess he means binge. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. Have fun. Just be careful. All right. Now, how do you develop calorie awareness? The way you start, right, is by tracking your calorie intake. You got to know what you're eating. My favorite two calorie tracking apps, MyFitnessPal and Lose It. Those are my two favorites. I'm a big fan of. I've recently started using the Lose It app. I like it. I just like it. I really, really do. Lakeisha, thank you. So yes, commit to tracking your food. Now you're gonna come across people online who tell you don't have to count calories, and I don't understand why people tell people that. I don't understand it. Can you do it, right? It depends, right? It depends on, for one, how much weight you're trying to lose, right? Because if you're not trying to, let's say you're 300 pounds and you're just trying to get down to like 275, then you probably won't have to track calories. But if you're 300 pounds and you're trying to get down to 200 pounds, then you will have to track calories at some point. At some point, you will. So it just depends on your goal. Sometimes for some people, the food, the hand portion method works. Yeah. I just don't subscribe to that because what gets measured gets managed. So it's not just about counting calories for counting calories' sake. It's also an added layer of accountability. It's accountability. If you are tracking what you eat, you're going to think twice about what you put into your face. You are going to think twice about what you are putting into your face when you have to answer to what you're eating. So just think about that. How do you meal prep on the go? Guilty of the drive-through because of convenience in college and working. This is what you do. You buy a cooler. You buy a bunch of ice packs. You prep your food, and you bring it with me. Bring it with you. Do not leave your crib without your food. That's how you do it. If you got to pull over and go into a 7-Eleven to heat your food up, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. It's about accountability. It's about understanding what gets measured gets managed. All right. A high level of calorie awareness is one of the most powerful tools in weight management. Once you understand this stuff, because what happens is when you have calorie awareness, you now can have more balance in your diet. You can now have more balance in your diet. If you want balance in your diet, which I think is important, that's one. See, when I learned how to track macros and I learned how to track calories, one of the biggest advantages of that was then me now having the ability to throw a cheeseburger and some ice cream in once in a while, and it not take me off course. That's one of the beauties of having calorie awareness. That's one of the upsides of measuring what you consume. Because then you can throw a treat in. You can have a few cookies every day. You can have a few chips every day if you want. But you can't do that if you're just like doing the hand portion method. Most of the time when people don't track, they undereat. When you're quote unquote on a diet and you're not like tracking your calories, I'm pretty sure 90% of the people who do that, they undereat. And that's why they end up binging. That's why they end up quitting, because they're undereating and they're undernourishing their bodies and they feel like shit. Another reason why everyone should, if you're trying to manage your weight, you should be tracking your calorie intake. It's another reason why. Because you're giving yourself the tools and the information to eat more. Eat as much as you need to. Can you drink alcohol and still meet your goals? Sure. It depends on what your goals are, though. Let me start there. Depends on what your goals are. But yes, I do advise you to still enjoy your life during the weight loss process. Obviously, there's going to be sacrifice involved. Right? Obviously, you're not going to be able to go out every weekend and have 4 margaritas a night. And like, you can't do it like that. But can you have some alcohol a few times a month? Maybe some like vodka sodas. Sure. Absolutely. And I would advise you to do it. If it helps you enjoy your life during the weight loss process, I would advise you to do it. And as long as, the alcohol is not the problem for a lot of us. It's how we want to eat after we drink. That's the problem. That is the problem right there. So if you can control your appetite and you're not doing a bunch of sugary mixers, and then have a drink, have a glass of wine, have a vodka soda, have a tequila on the rocks with some lime juice or something. Yes, do your thing. But also understand that it does set you back a little bit. It does set you back because what happens is when you have alcohol in your system, your body burns off the alcohol first before it starts burning calories again. So just understand that, and you may just have to plan around that. But I am an advocate for, moderate, smart, planned, keyword, planned indulgences in some alcohol. Is sleep very important for weight loss? Is oxygen very important for breathing? Yes. Same thing. Yes, absolutely. You need to sleep. You need to sleep. Put your alcohol in the loser that. All the drinks are on there. I love it. Thank you, Big Shot. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's one of my clients. You can track your alcohol. You can track your alcohol in these apps as well. What gets measured gets managed. Another thing, you want to learn how to read nutritional labels. Super important, guys. Because there's a lot of finagling happening on these nutritional labels, and if you don't know how to read them, you will get caught out there. Because if you don't understand how the serving sizes thing works, right? Because sometimes you'll see it, all right, per serving, right? For instance, peanut butter, 180 calories per serving, which is a serving is normally 2 tablespoons. That doesn't mean, and I'm guilty of this, I've done this in the past, and I've blown my deficit. That doesn't mean scooping a tablespoon out. I want you to do this, guys. If you've never measured peanut butter, I really want you to see what 2 tablespoons of peanut butter really is. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is not as much as you think. It's probably about this much peanut butter, right? Not even like a round, but like a flat little area like this. It's not a lot. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter usually will go on 1 piece of bread. So be careful. Be careful. All right. Learn how to read the nutritional labels. Do some research. These are all the basic fundamental things, right? If you understand the nutritional labels, if you understand how macros work, educate yourself. Take some time, guys. Here's another thing. If you want to lose weight, learn how this shit works. There's no excuse for the ignorance anymore. You don't even have to have a client, a trainer. All the information is online. But don't search people's philosophies. Search the science, the stuff that's indisputable. Or that's the word, right? The facts, the physiological and nutritional facts. Learn about your body, learn about the human body, learn about nutrition, right? The basic stuff, macronutrients. How does protein? What's the thermic effect of protein? How does carbs work? Where on the glycemic index does certain carbs fall? There's good carbs, there's bad carbs. There's white carbs, there's brown carbs. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, understand how fats work. What are the role in fats in your body? Like, learn this stuff. Just learn this stuff. Spend a few hours on the weekend and just like sit down and like read a book. Learn. Weight loss is not hard, guys. It is simple. It is simple. Appreciate you, Big Shot. It is simple. We got the account. Listen, I speak very confidently about our system because we are the best on the planet. And I'm putting this energy out because I want to attract my dream clients. The clients who are going to stick. The clients that are, so here's the best clients. And I'm going to be honest. I've been training for 10 years. The clients who get results would have got results with or without me. I helped them. Let's be very clear. I created a system, but any system will work for people who are ready, right? Especially with a good trainer. Obviously, somebody who's not, if they're advising you to do things that don't work, of course not. But it's really the mindset of the client that creates the results. My system works. It works. It's accountability. If you show up to accountability and you're at the point in your journey where you're ready to honor your health, we're going to see results. And that's who I want to work with. That's who I want to work with. So shout out to my clients. I know I got a few clients in here. All my online clients, check in. Brick Squad, what's the deal? What is the deal? So yeah, learn how to read nutrition labels. For the people asking about the website for the training, is brickstraining.com. Again, you can schedule a call with me, but only if you're ready to commit to the process. I'm not getting on the phone to convince you. I'm getting on the phone to qualify you. I want to know if you are the type of human who my system will work for, I should say. Brickstraining.com. It's a life-changing resource for the people who are ready. The accountability is there, the support, the structure. I give you everything you need. There's no more excuses. Once you get plugged into the system, if you don't get results, it is your fault. It's your fault because you got to, at the end of the day, I can be the best coach in the world with all the best systems and information. But if you don't monitor what you put into your face and what you do, that's beyond me. It's beyond me. But to have bricks makes a difference because he is proof. Unlike someone telling you were going to be rich and then broke. Facts. The proof is in the pudding. And I'm not just talking about my results. I'm not just talking about my results. I'm talking about I have clients who are killing it. Killing it. Shout out to oh my God, my squad. My man, the one guy, just signed up. Let's go. All right. I hope you're ready. Can't wait to talk to you. Make sure when I get on the phone with you, you remind me of your YouTube handle. That one guy. Let me write down this. Write down your name. And you know what? Everybody watching this right now, that one guy, I'm going to tell you how serious he is once I get on the phone with him. So on the next live, remember his name. I'm going to tell you if my man was serious, if he locked in or not. All right. Here we go. Okay. To wrap this up, right? To wrap this up, I want to challenge you guys to, again, two things. Pay attention to how the foods you're eating is making you feel. Pay attention to how the foods you're eating is making you feel. Food should give you energy. Should make you feel light. If your food makes you feel bloated and heavy and sleepy, and that's not a good thing. If your food makes you feel light and energetic and satiated and strong and your skin is clear and your mood is dope and your blood sugar levels are copacetic, then you're eating how you should be eating. Then you're eating how you should be eating. Shout out to Jose Garcia. I appreciate you. Let's go, y'all. Community is lit. Yeah, I challenge you guys. Start paying attention. Start paying attention to how the foods are making you feel. And I also challenge you guys to really commit for, even if you don't change what you eat, but I challenge you to commit to tracking your food intake for 2 weeks. Every single thing you put into your face, you track it. And I bet you're going to learn so much about, that's how you learn calorie awareness. You're going to learn so much about what you're eating. You're going to learn so much about how certain foods are more calorie dense than others, right? You're going to learn the foods that give you energy, the foods that make you sleepy. You're going to learn how you show up to the accountability of knowing that you got to track your food intake. You're going to make different decisions. If you do it with integrity, all that, I'm only going to track when I eat chicken breast and brown rice. But if you quote unquote slip up and you end up in a drive-thru and you don't have to face that decision by having to type in 3 Big Macs on your app, you're doing yourself a disservice. The whole system, it doesn't work that way. The structure of the psychological impact of tracking your food as far as accountability is concerned is diminished when you break the integrity of the system. You got to track it all. Even the stuff that's hard to answer to, you got to track it all. And I challenge you guys to do that for a period of time. You'll learn so much. You learn so much about nutrition. You learn so much about yourself. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful practice. All right. Anyway, until next week. Oh, yeah. Before I sign off, brickstraining.com. Sign up for a call. I'm taking on online coaching clients. We're going to be closing the program pretty soon because I want to focus on my mentor group, right? So coaching and my mentorship is 2 different things. So I'm taking on online coaching clients, which is going to be a cheaper price point than my mentorship program. So if you're interested in getting coaching from me, you want to get on top of that now because it's only but so long that I'm going to be offering this service, especially at this price point. So jump on that immediately. Shout out to the Brick Squad. Shout out to all of my coaching clients. Much love. I'm going to sign off with this. A word from my man, Jose Garcia. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Don't worry about what that scale says. Just keep doing what you have to do to achieve your goals. You are not alone. Much love. Much love. Much love, Jose. All right, y'all. Till next week. Peace.